Perfect. So, good morning, Miguel.
Good morning.
Thank you for being with us today, and we will start with a few questions about your activity, your industry in this wonderful hobby. So let's begin with the first question. And which age did you started to play with brushes and models, and who introduced you to this hobby, basically?
Well, my story is a bit funny because I was not good playing football, and also I was not good with the girls. So my only alternative was to stay at home painting models. So that was the real origin of my hobby.
Yeah. So it started from you. So you read a magazine, or you saw something and you started to think, wow, it's kind of good, and let's start to play and paint plastics, or it started in a different way?
No, in fact, I started because I was living next to a train station, and I really like it, the rush and the trains and everything. So that is the real origin of my modeling. No? I doesn't started with Gundam, I doesn't started with planes or any other thing except trains.
Yeah, so starting with trains, seeing them, and then you bought some kits to reproduce it.
Exactly, is what I made in the beginning, just in the beginning. But later I expanded in all direction of the modeling.
Yes, so and from this starting point to build such a huge and very worldwide industry and distribution, which was the few steps that bring you from paint your trains to make one of the most famous company of paint company?
Well, this is a hard work made during many years. In the beginning, of course, I was just a modeler like any other. But since 1995, approximately, I started publishing my models in different magazines around the world. That activity made me popular in the modeling, no? Because I was publishing a lot, showing and explaining many techniques, and thanks to that, I started my first company in 2002. I decided why not to transform all of this world of techniques and help for modelers in a company, no, in a product, and this is how I started. But the beginning was work very hard, and teaching to the modelers.
So first it was a kind of some sort of divulgating your knowledge, then start to produce something that other modelers could use.
Exactly.
Based on your experience.
Exactly, because the origin of the first product, for example, the pigments or washes or others, was to do something for me, because I needed to make the same washes, the same filters every day, no? Mixing and mixing. So finally one day I thought, why not I produce in large quantity, not only for me, maybe other modelers can use it in the same way than me, and I can help them. So this is why my product become very popular, because it seems that everybody needed a fast solution, no, for the modeling.
The same solution, yes, perfectly. And switching, next question is, did you have, we know that trains may be one of your first favorite styles, and there is right now a style or a subject that you prefer, and which kind of dioramas you like the most?
Well, the question is...
it's very complicated.
No, it's very well. But in fact, in my opinion, the dioramas is the top of the top in the modeling. It's in the top of the pyramid. Because to create a diorama, you need to control all techniques and all styles about construction, scratch wheel, and also the subject. Doesn't matter if you construct a Gundam or a tank or a train. You need to control the technique about the Gundam, train or tank, but also you need to control the scenography, the atmosphere, the buildings or the trees or vegetation. So the dioramas is the maximum that we can enjoy in the modeling. But personally, I like absolutely everything inside modeling. Probably many people know me because tanks, but I am here in a place that we are surrounded by Gunpla, and this is a fascinating world for me because I enjoy a lot. So
it spans from military to science fiction.
In fact, what is science fiction is a representation
of
the reality with different shapes.
Yeah.
But most of the people designing science fictions take inspiration from planes, rockets, or other kind of machines. So if you observe with different eyes, seems that everything is only one, that is reality. Science fiction is reality, it's all reality.
Yes, exactly. And switching to this event, did you already know the Gundams and Gunplas before when you were much younger, or when you started to build your interest in this kind of in robots and?
Well, I must say that here in Italy, you guys are extremely lucky because Italy is one of the countries in Europe with more Gunpla modelers in all Europe. So Italy is an exception. But if you see another countries like Spain, Spain have no tradition about Gunpla or something similar. Or in another countries like Germany or Poland or Ukraine, they have no idea about what is Gunpla. So Italy is like an island in Europe, and I discovered this world just a few years ago, maybe 3 years ago, 4 years ago. Of course, I saw it in Japan during all my visits to that country, but I never put interest until one day I understood the real meaning of a Gundam. In the beginning, many people think that a Gundam, for example, is just a robot, when it's a big monster with a person inside driving it. So the people cannot understand the concepts outside Italy, in Europe.
Yeah, I know. My first experience is
exactly the same.
It's exactly the same, yes. And I feel alone in Spain, so if there's someone in Spain,
you can see it.
Contact me. And yes, the next question is basically what we discussed. So in these years, there's a growing interest in mechas and Gunplas in general. Could be the science fiction theme, like Gunplas and robots, could be compared as equal as tank scale model or aircraft scales model. So a much traditional way to think about scales model that is basically military or naval. And do you think that Gunpla or robots could be considered as the same level of this one?
Well, if we talk about different geographic parts of the world, of course, Gunpla is the king of the kings in Asia. Of course, no doubt. It's superior to tanks, superior to planes, superior to absolutely any other subject. But we are talking about Asia, where they have a good influence. If we are talking about Europe or USA, it's true that I am getting information from USA or France or another countries where the Gunpla is going up and the interest is each day more and more and more. But still very small in comparison with tanks or planes. For example, right now in Europe, tank is number 1, planes number 2, and science fiction in general is very far from tanks. But like I told you before, Italy is a big exception.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, it's your duty, your task to export and to explain this world to the rest of Europe. If you can do that through magazine publication or events like this one, that I am surprised because this place is like to be in Japan, I think that you can help to the rest of European modelers to make more Gunpla in the next years.
So your advice is to trying to exhibit, to make more exhibition like this in maybe moving ourselves in our countries to show people what
Of
really
course.
is, because here we have seen a lot of interest and the models are beautiful and people that doesn't know this word is very interested in this kind of subjects.
No, in fact, I am shocked. I am completely shocked with this event in Verona because I doesn't expected so big event, especially with Gampla, with many exhibition, many interest, and I think that the people in Europe doesn't know what is happening here. So it's very positive from you, from your organization, for example, invite me to stay here, because maybe we can try to promote and to explain what is happening here. And Italy is a very centric place in Europe, so maybe in the next year more people can come here.
Yes, we hope so.
For sure.
So your connection with scale model, with science fiction and mechas is directed from a personal interest, as we said before. Do you have some piece in your collection that you like most, or that you are proud of, and you know you will never get annoyed or watching this piece?
If we are talking about Bandai, for example, my favorite subject so far is the Zaku, because the shapes, in fact we have here one of those. It's from another model, but it's my favorite shape from Bandai. But I like more Kotobukiya subjects, because they have different kind of science fiction, like hexagear and frame arms and other subjects that catch my attention even more. No, but about favorite, maybe Zaku from Bandai, and like a brand Kotobukiya.
Yes. Also, maybe because the Zakus, they are much, they are kind of way much similar to tanks and much military, maybe, no? Isn't it?
Maybe no. It is, to me, remind me more to the cars from America from the 50s and 60s,
so
with the shapes.
The shapes are the
maybe because the shape is not so military, because it's very aerodynamic. No? The shapes of the legs and some parts. But remind me, I don't know why, the science fiction from the 50s and 60s, and also the cars from America from the 50s, no, with those rounded shapes, no?
Aero style design.
Yes. Like with influence from aerospace.
Exactly. I know.
So,
next question is talking more about the line of products in Jimenez, and with the showing of products in your lines, like in publications, like in Combat. Did you had specific requests, or it was your idea bringing all of these products to the public?
When in the beginning I became interested by Gundam, the first thing that I thought was just to apply the same products that I use in my tanks in Gundam, and I just saw what happened, no? And we made the in Combat one. That, well, this is the Italian version, but these 2 books in one here. But when we made the first one, many people become very, very interested, and was a big success around the world, in many countries, also in Italy. So what is happening, no? Was a big surprise. And since that moment, many modelers started suggesting ideas, colors, and different products. The people really needed something specific for them. Not only colors, but also, for example, sets, where someone can buy a set with everything or all necessary for make the weathering in a Gundam. No? So we listen to the people, and we are doing what they want.
Yes. So also, like, you made the set for the Israeli tanks, is the same. Make a set for Zaku.
Exactly.
Zakus, or.
Yeah, or for the
RX 78,
yes. But also for weathering, to make the grease or dust or another effects.
Yes. So. And for the last question is, well, maybe we already talked about this, but to close the interview is what you think in resume of this event and the models that are exposed here.
Well, the first thing that I must say, especially for people in internet, because we are right now online, we are retransmitting for Facebook, and many people is watching this. So this is directly to all of you guys. You cannot believe how huge is this event. It's incredibly big. I never expected something like that. I expected something smaller and more European. But this looks like a combination of Shizuoka Hobby Show with Nuremberg Toy Fair. So it's incredible. There are many halls, and each hall is endless. You cannot see everything in 2 days, of course. So you must come here just looking your own thematic. If you are looking for the for Gampla for next year, I hope so. We are in the hall number 8.
6.
Six.
Right
Number
now,
6. And we are just in the entry, and you can see many, not only shops, but exhibition for different clubs, right, from all Italy.
Yes, yeah.
But also I saw many visitors from Austria, from Czech Republic, from other countries. So this is incredible. In comparison with Japan, this looks like a Japanese event.
So wonderful, yeah.
I have been many times in many places, but this looks Japan. The same kind of organization, the same kind of feeling, but with European people.
With the clubs or the association here are very collaborative in between them, and they accomplish to build something very unique.
I am surprised for the organization, the people all together united doing this event. But also the displays, the small details that I can see in every places, people working in the tables, doing something in live. So completely happy and shocked with this event.
It's trying to show the passion about this hobby and this subject.
And I think that everybody can see. So I really invite you, if you are from Europe, from France, because I know that there are many French people who make Gampla, and so from England. Please, next year you must stay here, because this is the event for the Gampla lovers. This is definitely the event for that.
Yes. So thank you for this interview, and we hope you enjoy the rest of the day. And thank you for being with us this year, and we hope to see you another time.
Grazie mille, por supuesto, grazie.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Bye.